Chapter 15. The Saucepan Man Goes to the Wrong Land. Mother and the children stared at the strange old saucepan man as he came in at the gate. He wore an extra-large saucepan for a hat, and as he came he knocked two pans together and sang a strange nonsense song that went like this: 2 beans for a pudding, 2 cherries for a pie, 2 legs for a table, with a high tiddly-eye. At the last high, he banged on the door with his saucepan. Mother opened it. "Don't make such a noise," she said. "No, I haven't seen any boys," said the saucepan man, and he clashed his pans together so loudly that Mother jumped. When he caught sight of the children, he waved at them eagerly. "Oh, there you are! Moonface told me where you lived." "Whoever is he?" said Mother, in wonder. "Children, is this strange old man all right?" "Oh, yes," said Joe, hoping that Mother wouldn't ask them too many questions. "Can we take him into the garden and talk to him, Mother? He makes such a noise out indoors." "Very well," said Mother, who wanted to get on with her washing. "Take him along." "A song?" said Saucepan Man obligingly. "Did you say you wanted a song, madam?" He began to sing again and crashed his pans in time with the song. 2 pigs for a pantry, 2 shoes for a horse, 2 hats for a tiger, pink ones of course. The children hustled him into the back garden. "That's a very, very silly song of yours," said Bessie loudly, right in his ear. "What's it called?" "It hasn't got a name," said Saucepan Man. "I make it up as I go along. It's quite easy, every line, but the last one begins with the word 2. I'm sorry you think it's silly." He looked rather offended. Then suddenly he smiled again and said, "I've come to ask you all to tea at my cottage." "Will Mr. What's-his-name be there?" asked Joe, who wasn't at all anxious to meet him again. "Yes, you'd better brush your hair," said the Saucepan Man, looking at Joe's untidy hair. "I said, will Mr. What's-his-name be there?" said Joe loudly. "Something in the air," said the Saucepan Man, and he looked up anxiously. "Not a thunderstorm, you don't mean?" "No, I certainly don't mean a thunderstorm," said Joe with a groan. "Yes, we'll come. We must ask Mother first." Mother said they could go, though she still didn't very much like the look of the old Saucepan Man. "Good day," she said to him, and he went off with the children. He really was most a peculiar sight, but he had such a twinkly sort of face that the 3 children couldn't help liking him and trusting him. They soon came to the faraway tree, and saw that Moonface had thought of a marvellous idea. He had borrowed Mother Washalot's biggest washing basket and let it down on a rope. Then, as soon as they were all safely in it, he and Silky meant to haul them up, to save them a long, long climb. "That's a really good idea," said Joe, delighted. They all climbed in. It was a bit difficult to get the Saucepan Man in too, but they managed at last, though he seemed to find it most uncomfortable to sit on his saucepans. "Up we go," shouted Joe, as the basket swung upwards through the branches. It ran very smoothly, and the children enjoyed the strange ride. At last they came to the big branch and stepped out on it. It was quite near Moonface's house at the top. Moonface was there, winding up the rope, a grin on his big, shiny face. "How did you like that?" he asked. The Saucepan Man looked at him anxiously. "Cat," he said. "Another cat? Dear me! I hope it won't escape into my land. I've got my mice there." "No, he'll go looking for cats again." "Oh, now he'll go looking for cats again." said Bessie, and sure enough Saucepan Man began to peer here and there, calling puss, 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 puss. Never mind him, said Moonface. Go on up the ladder. He wants you to go to tea with him in his funny saucepan house. Come on, Saucepan, called Joe. If he wants us to come to tea, we'd better go. The Saucepan Man heard. He stopped looking for the cat and ran up the ladder. With a bound, he was through the hole in the cloud and right above. And sooner had he gone out of sight than he began to yell, "Oh, oh!" The children listened in alarm. "Whatever's the matter with him?" said Joe. Crash, bang, clang, smash! He sounds as if he's rolling about on all his kettles and saucepans, said Bessie. What can he be doing? "Oh!" shouted Saucepan Man above them. "Stop it! Oh, stop it!" "Somebody must be attacking him," cried Joe. He leapt up the ladder. "Come on, everyone. We'll soon send off any enemies." He shot up the ladder, followed by Bessie, Fanny, and Moonface, and they all climbed through the hole in the cloud and stood in the land above. But oh my goodness me! It was no longer the land of the Saucepan Man, that tiny little cloud-edged country. It was another land altogether. "My land's gone!" shrieked the Saucepan Man. "I didn't know it had. This is somewhere else. Ooh!" No wonder he said ooh. The bit of flat field he was standing on suddenly gave a shiver like a jelly, and then, just as suddenly, tipped itself up so that it made a hill. The Saucepan Man rolled down it at top speed, all his pans clattering like milk churns on a railway station. "This is the rocking land," said Moonface in dismay. "Quick, come back to the ladder and get down the hole before we have forgotten where it is." "Hey," said Saucepan Man, "come over here to us." "Oh, hey, Saucepan Man, come over here to us." "Bus, did you say?" shouted back Saucepan Man, picking himself up and looking around. "I can't see a bus. I'd like to catch one." "Come here to us, to us, to us," shouted Joe in despair. "The hole through the cloud is here. We must get back quickly." The Saucepan Man began to run downhill to them, but the ground all around suddenly tipped backwards, and he and the children and Moonface found themselves running downhill, away from the hole in the clouds. Where the precious ladder was. They tried to stop, they tried to walk back up the sudden hill, but the land tipped it up all the more, and at last they couldn't stand up, but had to lie down. Then they began to roll downhill. How they rolled, over and over and over, with the Saucepan Man making a frightful clatter with all his pans. "Ooh, ooh!" cried everyone. "We've lost the hole," shouted Joe, but before they could say any more, he bumped into a branch that knocked all the breath out of him. Soon everyone lay in a heap on the bottom of a hill, and tried to get back their breath. "Now we're in a fix," said Bessie, dusting herself. "What a very tiresome land to have got into. Does it do this sort of thing all the time, Moonface?" "Oh, yes," said Moonface. "It never stops. It heaves up and then sinks down there and rocks to and fro and gives sudden little jerks. People do say that a giant is underneath, trying to throw the land off its back."